Can you share more than one?
More than one screen?
Yeah.
You can share your desktop. So then you can arrange
that's another. Because that would be the best, to have one desktop which contains
with multiple
editor,
windows.
and
Yes.
I could switch between those two.
Yeah.
And still be able to use everything else on another screen.
Right. Yeah. So right now I'm gonna show you on the screen. So on the here, that's the YouTube. If you want to just kind of take a look at that. What's showing right now. So yeah, you definitely have some, needs to be a little, oops, that's the wrong, anyway. Yeah, okay. Switch account. What you laughing? What happened?
It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Oh, here, somebody's coming.
Yeah.
Howdy, y'all.
Hello.
Howdy.
Sorry about that. I went from one hangout to another and got it.
Okay, settle in. So Greg was already kind of sharing his screen. So and I already pushed it over to the live YouTube, but it's on my personal channel, so it's not gonna go out to Gutenberg Times or something like that. Yeah. Do we? Oh, here, Zach is on mute. That's fine. Yeah. So.
Howdy, Greg. What you working on, buddy?
I think Greg is trying to put multiple screens on his sharing.
Yeah,
so,
it only allows me to pick the first desktop, which is pretty strange.
Well, if you then change so if I share my screen, I can go my desktop, yeah. But when you share this, you get everything on my desktop. So I can kind of, yeah. So I need to close this, and I need to close this, and I need to close this. So everything that's on my screen right now is showing through, right? Oops, cancel. Yeah, that's what you're seeing, right? You see the Slack and everything.
Which one is first? Maybe that would work.
So, and then I stop the share, and then, yeah, it kind of goes back to it. So, and the others are all single windows to share. So only the first one is the show everything that's on your desktop. If I don't get this right, Zach, you have so much more experience. How do you do you have your window in there, and then you have the editor, and then you have the browser in your, or?
Yeah, so there are a couple different tools. When I do my live stream, it's just one person. I use OBS. I have been playing around with this, which is a pretty cool tool called Lightstream. Gamers are using, where you can do hosts and multiple people and share multiple screens and things like that, and customize how it appears a little bit. And it's free. It's crazy. I'm using it for Office Yoga now, but yeah, normally I just click share screen and it shares. So I like the idea of, Greg, you typing. We could do it where you tell me to type and I could just type. I know nothing, and that could be an interesting experience.
Yes, sure.
Oh yeah, and then I try it, and then I'm gonna screw it up royally because I can't type to save my life.
How it's supposed to work?
Yeah. Well, I'm very proud of me. I got my custom colors working on my block editor for I did it the first time. So yeah. For not being a PHP, I've never programmed in PHP, so I'm Where's your hat, Zach?
Behind the scenes here. I've got a good hat here though, but it's not JS for WP. A little torque hat.
Okay, it's torque hat. Yes, WP engine. Yeah.
Don't tell Pantheon, okay?
Well, we're gonna take a screenshot now, and then we kind of show them. Huh?
We'll be like, where are the Pantheon hats?
Yeah, the superhero hats. I looked at the list of superheroes, and there's only one woman, and that's me, and that's pathetic. So I need to talk to Tessa a bit.
Agreed.
Between you and me, Zach, Craig is not sitting in a basement. It's dark where he's living.
It's always dark here.
Quite a bit.
It's Eastern Europe. It's always dark.
Yeah. Believe or not.
What was the problem that you're having, man?
Also, I am trying to share only one desktop, but it always picks the one where the Zoom is. Yeah.
You can get out of Zoom and go to the other desktop with the Zoom, and then pick it up from there.
Let me share now. If I start share from here. Oh, I think it will always share the screen I'm on.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Okay.
Because this is exactly what I would like to have, and I still see your faces.
Yeah.
Yay. Cool.
Yay. Yeah. And
hey,
then
smart running this session, Birgit. Smart running this session, so we figure it all out, huh?
Right. Yeah. It definitely. If you haven't done this before, it's kind of just need to get all the technology working and make the notes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably need to increase whatever's on your screen, because I'm looking at it on my thingy, and nobody's gonna see this on YouTube.
Okay, so you are saying that the resolution is too high, just need to downgrade it to something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can also use the control plus.
Yeah, but then I will have to do it for every.
You want scaled.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
And now it's. Yeah, it should be big now.
Yeah, that's nice. Is that looking better, Birgit?
Yeah, I don't see this on the YouTube screen, but yep. Okay. Well, we have. Oh, right. We have a 5-minute delay on the YouTube screen. Duh.
5 minutes. Oh, 5 minutes.
So here, yeah. So, yeah, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So.
Yeah, we should see it soon. So.
Yeah. If they put it a full screen, they should see it. Yeah. They're not going to do it in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I can always go with a crazy resolution. Old school one.
Well, you probably want to use there is isn't there a magnifying thingamajig on the Mac that you could use?
Magnifier? I don't think so.
I think we're good. If you're at 1080, I think that is fair. That's what I usually use when I'm screencasting, and I think we'll be fine.
It's at 1280. Yeah.
Yeah, 1250. Yes. Question is if you can see it, that would be enough, because what we are going to do is what was the name? No, it was rich text. The thing you asked me about. Something that you asked yesterday. And it's pretty cool because when you call it, when your editor is opened, it renders automatically and you no longer see it here.
That's what I tested right away. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. You can unregister for, yeah, okay.
So yeah, depending on, I think, are you fine with going with these colors? Because I think that's a nice topic. In general, that's something that's not so popular, but people always want to add something in here.
Yeah.
So I can just give you a brief explanation how it works behind the scenes these days.
Yeah.
And then we can figure out, because on the live show, I think that Zach should be explaining things, not me.
I can kind of like talk and ask questions as you're doing it to keep it all moving and make sure it all gets explained as you just like type. Totally.
Yeah, that's like, Bridget is doing introduction. What's the goal of the live stream today, and so on. I don't know, just trying to make it more interesting than me typing. And
yeah.
The nice part about this is that you can do it also something like this and start from here. It was unregistered, right?
Yeah.
That's why I need to have it tested. I will do it next week. No worries.
Is there a way to only do it per block type, like drill down and select a block and then get rich text within it? Or is it only at a global rich text level?
It's global, but using data API, you can filter it out. So I can come up with an example which would do that. So basically what we would have to do is the same way I'm doing it here. You would have to do something like this, then take edit. Edit? No, I don't know. What does it contain? Yes, it contains edit. And you would have to do something like this, and probably take props. I don't know. I'm just, maybe something like this, and do some magic inside. We can give it a go, and then now we would have to do the opposite, register it back, and then give our own name. Boom. So probably I did something wrong. Yeah, there is some kind of issue inside here.
Stack size exceeded. Okay.
Yeah, but the idea is that you could override that with something for the.
Wow, so even down to the individual buttons, we can not just remove them, we can add our own, and we can extend and override. Is it too much and something that has been kind of the limit of folks who don't know too much React? Like, can you do quick demos on how to take something that is a React component, break it down, modify it, and then put it back together? or is that going to get too complicated to get into, and maybe not even the best idea? I don't know. Just curious, like how far down do we want to get into what you could change in a playing component and stuff like that? Right?
I don't know what the audience is, so depending on that, it's, we can go very advanced or very basic.
So
good answer.
I guess based on experience from your live sessions, who is the audience? And
it really depends on the topic. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of live people there. Maybe 10 or 15, yeah, if even, yeah, it could be just 4 or 5. So I would kind of think, okay, let's do one example that is taking the bold away, because we never want anybody to bold things. Another idea would be, okay, give them some colors that are in the toolbar for something where it's not available out of the box. Yeah. And I'm just kind of thinking, what can we put in a toolbar? Because for the paragraphs, the colors are in the color settings. But if you only want to give them 3 colors instead of 10, yeah, you might as well put them in the block toolbar. Yeah.
And the block toolbar is going to be, the block settings would do it for the whole block and all the text, and then the block toolbar would just change the text that you have highlighted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of good to point out when you do something like that. And is there something else we could put in there? So when you click on that arrow down next to the link button there, because a lot of people have modified the classic editor with some buttons. Yeah, is there something that they and that would be replacing that?
Ooh, yeah, can we do a code one that wraps it in a code or a pre-tag? Although there's already auto formatting in WordPress to do that with the backtick.
Oh yeah, it works behind the scenes, and it's baked inside rich text somehow. I don't think it's part of the rich text formatting library. So, but I have another idea, because based on what you are saying, we can do something like this, just to explain how everything works behind the scenes. So by doing this unregistered stuff, we are getting the core control, which is called bold, and it now disappears from the screen, so it's no longer here. Now, if we register it back, because it's now stored inside our variable, and it's returned. So something that probably we should show an API page for them, just so they could take, go and reference that. I don't know how we would do it. I can provide all the links before. We can register this one. Again, because I want to show the difference. It should now work, right? It's back in the list. But if I unregister it again, I need to change it to LED, because it is. Yeah, that's why. It's quite expected. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Because it was a constant.
And now I'm registering, but using different namespace. Something like that. It's special case. I would expect that we'll go inside this stuff in here, but maybe because there is something bold. I need to practice it a bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm just coming up with the ideas based on what you said. So let's do another one. Now we have bold 3. So another thing is we can expect that. I think this is what Zach is very often doing in his videos. so you can show what is inside this thing, which is also a nice way to explore the API without looking at documentation at all, which I always like. So as you can see, there's this name, there's this tag name, title, and I don't remember exactly how, but I think that there is something magic inside which would happen. We need to happen to make sure that you can register the same bolt and it won't show up inside the block toolbar, but inside the dropdown. So probably that would be something like.
Oh, you mean so that you could just have a button appear there rather than in the dropdown and the toolbar will just get wider?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
That's definitely a good option.
So you could do something like bolt 3, and probably I would have undefined this one and add class name. Format names must be strings. Yeah, I need to research that, but I'm sure that I'm positive that you can easily do that. You are muted, Zach.
Yeah, if name is like my namespace / test, I think that's what it wants.
Oh, in the new bolt 3 line?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's no namespace.
Wrong namespace, right?
It's just missing the namespace. Oh, wait, no.
Not in this one.
On the const new bold line, where the name is just test, are you sure it's test, or is it like core / test or namespace? Yeah,
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, but my point is that all the custom controls goes in here, which is quite important if they want to take care, because this list is reserved only for core, and you can only unregister or unregister and register again with modified stuff.
So you could pull out the link one and add your own custom one in place of it.
Yeah, that's another way of doing that. So that's one thing. That the other one is, which is all, I would need to go to the editor and go inside format library. In general, it would be much easier to write in here because you get all the help from the IDE and, linting, stuff like this. So that could be.
I imagine that's how we do the demos, right? Rather than in the browser the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that was something, because the code of this is pretty straightforward. It's a bunch of components which gives you some ideas. So for this one, this just is a keyboard shortcut which will toggle or toggle bolt. The another one is the thing that displays inside the toolbar. And he also contains this on click. Here is on use, so it's something similar. And this shortcut in here, this is pretty strange in my opinion. Probably this toolbar could be combined because it's quite almost the same. My point is that this is only for displaying purpose, so this like the same stuff in here, but this one doesn't handle the keyboard event, but only renders it inside UI. So this is pretty.
Well, that's super important to mention because it's an accessibility thing, right? Because otherwise, if you leave that out, that would not be good. Imagine.
Yeah. Also, to be able to discover how the shortcuts look like, right? Yeah. And as you can see, there's this edit function. So this is a regular function. So I think we can simply wrap it with another function and just provide something on top of it. But the thing is that that's the thing that is rendered inside the browser. So if you want to have special handling, then that's the way of doing that. Link is pretty complex if you want to compare. But this is also interesting. With spoken messages, it probably will announce something when you have voiceover enabled. But the same way you can wrap other edit functions with some special things. Also, code is interesting because you mentioned that if you use backticks, then it will convert to code. As you can see, there's nothing about that here. This is just built into editor.
Yeah, I think that came with all the markdown stuff too, right? There was like the ability to just
for lists, for links might be different. I think it works also for headings. I don't know. So I don't know how time-wise that you could envision. How much should we do of introduction? How much time we should spend doing some coding?
How long? Yeah. Do you have are we going 30 minutes or an hour?
It's up to you. Yeah, if you want to do, I don't know, 20 minutes introduction and kind of show things around, and then where people can look up things, and then how you demonstrate it and how easy it is to what it looks like on the browser. Yeah, and then it depends on how many examples you want to demonstrate, right?
Yeah. Just a second. No, no, tak. Yeah, okay, so I'm back. Sorry.
No worries.
I think that it's nice to do the introduction and showing how you can unregister and register back one of the formats, because that gives you, something to show, which connects, gives you some overview on the code, how it works, the basics. Then I think there is a very nice example that Zach mentioned, which is about how to filter out a given control for a given set of blocks. So I will spend some time before Monday, I think, just to have a solid example that takes bold, unregister it, wraps edit with data layer, which is with select, I guess, and it will detect the currently selected block, and based on int type will disable displaying of the formatting control.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty advanced, but also it's something common people would want from the how they customize their own editors.
It also shows the flexibility of with state and an example of it, because I don't think that there's a ton of those besides when people see to use it in the docs or like that.
Yeah, in general, this is something that you can apply also for different aspects of blocks, like inspector controls you can use for that. So just, I can envision different scenarios. So that will take, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. I would say that's not so easy to type live and so on.
Yeah.
And also explain, Zach has a lot of prepared statements, how to work with select, what's that about, and so on. And
yeah, happy to jump in as we go. I think this will be kind of cool. This is because we're peeling back like 3 different layers at least of working with things and showing how they interject. And at the end of the day, this is super simple, but also we could point out a lot of more advanced stuff along the way. So I think it'll be a good takeaway.
Yeah, regarding the color, I think we can code it, but I don't think we can properly explain it. I mean, it's complicated.
Can you pull it up real quick? Do you have an example of it? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think I shared it on the channel. There's a gist of that. So as you can see, it requires drop down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the code itself isn't that complex, but the drop down itself is quite complex to explain. But the idea itself is quite simple. You need to use default. I mean, you don't have, but I use default color, which is using React hooks, but it could be also done using with state from WordPress. We have this the same thing. I just wanted to play around with hooks.
Yeah, no, let's keep the hooks in there, folks. Will like that.
But the thing is that it's still not inside WordPress that is shipped. So you can't.
I was about to ask, man, because I saw it actually in the library, right? But in Element.
It will be live next month. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we could do that as an exercise. It's quite similar. It just simplifies a lot, but because as you can see, it's just one line inside your code. And what it does is like applies black color as a default for your for the color. Then whenever you want to change in the color picker the color, it just updates the default color, and based on that we can then use this default color inside the button and display its value, and also apply in different places, like in here when you click the rich text toolbar button, then it just will apply style set to this default one.
Wow. Yeah. How does this tie in with the color palettes?
I mean, this solution is I use the same approach that you use when you are inside Gutenberg and go to the.
Okay, so you'll just automatically see the same color palettes registered.
Oh, this one, right? And but the issue is that because
you're changing the default color, right? That way. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, there's many ways you could approach that. You could have a modal dialog which would allow you to type the color or whatever, you know. It's all that's how you polish the UI. The issue is this, the issue I had with this one is because there is this drop down, and by default, if you click outside, it closes. If you open the tooltip for the custom color, then it auto closes, so it doesn't really works properly. So I don't have quick solution for that. Anyways, I think that.
So that would be kind of a dead end for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, except the color picker will still stay open though, right?
Once you click, it also closes. See here. No, in here it works properly, but because in there it would be inside the drop down. Clicking everywhere, we click this drop down and everything else. it's hard to explain. But
so one option maybe we could do is we just pull in the 3 colors and we do a little interface to just set the color from those predefined colors. And when you click on it, it just shows like 4 buttons or however many buttons there are for the color palette.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Then we lock people down into using the theme controlled stuff, which I think is the best practice. So people aren't just like, yeah, any red. It's like, no, you could only use these. And we could also mention this other issue. Can you get the color palette via the data API? Can you get the color palette via the data API?
Yes, you can. It's somewhere in the settings or something. I would just need to go to this stuff. Yeah.
So theoretically, you can declare the colors, put them in the block toolbar, but take them out of the paragraph settings on the right side.
Yes, you could iterate over those colors and just put as many buttons as you need for that.
Yeah, so you only change the text color, but never change the background color, and you can kind of take away the background colors.
Yeah, but I think Ella did something for background as well, because it's just different style to apply. It's instead of using color, you use background color, so you could do both.
Right.
The way the formatter works, I should show you. I don't know. We have some. No, we don't have. I think that once you start applying, I need to refresh it now.
It's totally screwed up.
Looks bad, but the way it works behind the scenes is if you go here, as you can see, there are over the word you have so many things. So as soon as you start using spans, then for each of the formatter there will be separate spans. So it's not that something that you expect that they would merge into one attribute. So for every formatter, for simplicity, and probably this is done the same way inside Classic Editor, and it's like you apply something like span class name or class inside HTML1, then it would go with another one. We can also present that. And so on. So every formatter would be a separate tag inside the editor.
Unexpected.
It's quite expected.
Mess. It's an expected mess. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is something that shouldn't be difficult if you don't need to use this dropdown. And it's just a matter of defining in the loop all the things. I'm only thinking about one issue that could happen. We just would have to. I would just have to figure out at which stage you have to register that formatters. Probably it doesn't matter after the editor is already bootstrapped. Then you can register whatever you want. So that might be one way of tackling that. Just the simplest possible.
Do we have to put it in the DOM ready thing too? Is that a good idea?
Maybe. Well,
anytime we unregister stuff, I saw that it's a good idea to make sure we're doing.
Yes, right? Yes. So we are trying to make everything work in a way that works even when editor is already there. So you don't. The issue with PHP is that you have to run all your filters before the HTML is rendered. Once it's rendered, you cannot apply any filters anymore because they would be not executed anymore. In editor, it's different because once you open it, it's nothing stops you. In the session can, Like now I have my editor open for a couple of minutes, and at any stage you can register your own filter and it should be applied properly. It doesn't work for everything, but that's the premise and the goal we are aiming for.
So you two know what you're doing, right?
I was going to say, we're definitely not running out of content here. So I think
we are rather streaming it down.
But I feel like I've got a good enough grasp on it that we could kind of keep a good session and only like proceed to something deeper if we know that we could, explain and understand the whole thing. And this is looking good. I like this.
Yeah. Do you think, Jack, that you could come up with a little blurb of what we're doing on next Tuesday? Thursday?
Yeah, sure. I think that I can have everything ready on Monday.
Yeah.
I will spend the day just preparing everything just to make sure that.
Right, but maybe a title and just a blurb kind of thing. I don't know. If I had it earlier, then it could do a little bit more promotion on this, and get a little more people in there.
So the blurb I can set something for tomorrow. Maybe Zach also can come up with something. I think you are now, you know everything. I mean,
I could type up the blurb. You focus on code sampling, and Birgit, I could help you with the marketing stuff and doing all that for sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Coolness.
The question is, how do we, cover the coding? Do I have to do it, or I know, because to be honest, doing per program style or something like this with the setup, it might be way too complex.
I think you do all the coding.
Yeah. Okay. I can just.
Yeah, and I'll just talk over you. I think that this works well. This is what they do on the Gatsby live stream. It's pretty cool.
Just one person is talking about the content and the other one is showing.
Yeah, although sometimes they switch it. Like if we had more time and really prepped a lot more, which I don't think is necessary, like then you would talk me through it because then it is a bit more learnery. But I think for our scenario, you coding is nice. And I think people are going to want to see your coding set up and you doing it. I think there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah, so I think it would be fine, the thing I did here. So the first thing we can do inside JavaScript console, we can talk about that. That's I think the best way of hacking with things. And also you can take examples. You can pass them inside the browser and just, as you go through the Gutenberg handbook, you can use that to do some very interesting stuff. And then the color example, that definitely would have to happen inside the editor. And with this resolution, does it look good? I don't know. Have you checked on the YouTube?
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I think it looks good. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you can go a little higher, that would be fine. Yeah.
I don't know about resolution. Your font size could be the teeniest.
Font size, yeah.
Or two.
The font size.
Not the screen resolution, the font size, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me check one more thing. No, the screen is okay, I think.
Screen is okay, yeah.
Font is it too small?
Yeah, it might be a little small.
How do I? I always do it by mistake.
Is it what is zoom in? I have my keyboard shortcut changed to Command Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it should work Command Plus. It's always
No, it's a different keyboard. Hold on, I got it here. PHP Storm.
Oh, okay.
Zapięć, no? Czy już?
PHP Storm doesn't work.
Ja zaraz przyjdę. I think I will have to wrap up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I will have to wrap up because with accident. My daughter, she burned her head.
Oh.
Hand.
Go.
Yeah. Okay.
On Monday, it's not that bad, but we need to know a lot of pay of attention when getting her to bath and so on.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot tea. That's the worst.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Well, this is going to be really cool. Well, thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for, wrangling it together.
Sure.
That's really exciting.
Yes. All right.
Ooh, super excited. Yeah, we'll drum up some support, get folks out, and even just a recording to share around and have on YouTube for folks to go check it out. This is cool stuff. Man,
absolutely, yeah.
My advanced course is already 7 hours, man. You're going to have to make it like another, it's going to be like 11, 15-hour course to explain all this.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe just a rich text video mini series, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll get it out. And then, Zach and I, we work on the promotion. And then I'll see you all on... do you want to do 1:45 or kind of 15 minutes before go live to go on this on the site?
I don't know. I have never done that, so
yeah. And normally it's easier to kind of go live when everybody's set up, and then have a few minutes to set it up and kind of just make sure everybody knows what they're doing.
Just tell me what to do.
Okay. I'm good at that. All right.
Okay.
Thank
you and see you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Zach.